Thanks for the sub.
What's up, everybody? I'm Kevin from the Heroes of the Storm dev team, and that's right. It's time. The long-awaited rework for Commander James Eugene Raynor is here. Still set squarely as an approachable auto-attacker, we've added a good bit of nuance to the Outlaw that will heavily reward skillful play. Let's take a look. No longer an automatic save, Adrenaline Rush is now an activatable ability. If Raynor has taken any amount of damage, the ability can be used to restore a percentage of his health, allowing players to heal on their own terms. Although the cooldown is longer, it can be significantly reduced by attacking enemies. When the Raynor's Raider heroic is selected, Jimmy summons a single Banshee that will travel with him and engage nearby hostiles. This Banshee is controllable and will continue to attack enemies that remain within range of Raynor. If the player calls for retreat, the Banshee will rapidly regain health, provided it does not take damage. If destroyed, it will return after a set amount of time. Jimmy's new trait, Acquire Weak Spot, maintains the range bonus from his previous trait while adding increased functionality to his auto attacks. On every fourth shot, Raynor will do increased damage that will splash to all nearby enemies. This can be used to prioritize high-value targets and punish enemies that group up. In addition, Jimmy has several new talents that synergize with Acquire Weak Spot. At level 1, Seasoned Marksman is replaced by Veteran Marksman. Whenever Raynor damages a hero with his trait, the bonus damage is permanently increased. At level 7, Unstable Compound increases the damage area of Acquire Weak Spot and slows enemies that are hit by it. And at level 20, Weak Spot acquired decreases enemy armor, allowing your team to quickly mop up any heroes that find themselves on the business end of Jimmy's Gauss Rifle.
I got a bullet with your name on it.
With some new tricks up his sleeve, Raynor remains an approachable auto-attacker that will greatly reward those who play him skillfully.
Yeehaw!
Get ready to saddle up with Jimmy, and be sure to leave us a comment or subscribe to Heroes of the Storm around the web. We'll see you in the Nexus.
Like old times.
I clicked the link from Decepti on Discord and it superimposed itself over the window that I was watching. That was weird. Sorry, boys.
But we'll be
What's up, everybody, and welcome to the Heroes of the Storm Dev Pit. I'm Kevin, and I'm here to talk you through a few of the changes coming to the Lord of the Dunk himself in his upcoming rework. Azmodan is getting a bunch of new tools with small but meaningful changes coming to all of his basic abilities, as well as a whole new heroic. Let's check it out. Azmodan now receives stacks of annihilation when killing minions or hitting heroes with Globe of Annihilation. Each point increases the ability's base damage. However, the impact area is visible sooner, allowing enemy heroes more time to dodge when firing from long range. At level 1, Azmodan has 3 talents that help him gain extra stacks of annihilation and various rewards depending on your playstyle. Azmodan's W ability, Summon Demon Warrior, no longer has 2 charges baseline, but his minions have increased health and deal constant AoE damage. In addition, this ability is empowered through his level 4 talents. Army of Hell allows him to summon 2 Demon Warriors at once. Hellforged Armor gives armor and increased duration to warriors and lieutenants. And Battleborn reduces the cooldown of his minions through auto attacks. All Shall Burn, his E ability, now has a set channeling time that will do bonus damage upon completion of the cast. This ability also pairs well with certain talents. Master of Destruction at level 7 damages all nearby enemies at the end of the cast and grants annihilation for every hero hit. At level 16, Hell Rift summons a Demon Warrior and empowers all other Demon Warriors that are currently active. Azmo's heroic ability, Black Pool, has been redesigned into Tide of Sin. When activated, Tide of Sin will allow your next Globe of Annihilation to be cast for free and do increased damage. At level 20, the trample talent allows Azmodan to charge in any direction for an aggressive engage or a quick escape. Any enemies caught in his path are slowed, making them easy targets for a quick pick. With more tools at his disposal, the Lord of Sin is ready to unleash his hellish armies and dunk on anyone foolish enough to get in his lane. Make sure to leave us a comment and subscribe to Heroes of the Storm around the web, and we'll see you in the Nexus.
Soon you will all serve me.
It's funny that he gets a kind of Kel'Thuzad-like dash. And has more different ways of stacking that aren't totally reliant on stacking with your team. He's less make or break, like either almost useless or strong and dominating. But even when you've got full stacks of Taste for Blood, he wasn't that good. When you look at how every other hero progressed in the Nexus. And am I correct in seeing that the laser is now a standard period of time, not infinitely lasering? Seems like a good change, because that feels pretty dumb anyway. Like, it's too weak to interrupts, it's too monodimensional. It's a good change, I think. For Raynor, I don't know, how do you guys feel about heroes that have alternating style auto attacks? Like AAB, or ABAB, or AAAB, AAAB. Where like the B is like a special attack, either with splash or bonus damage. I guess focus attack is kind of that. And Leoric has it. And Skullcracker is like that. And so is Manticore. Where like every third or every second or every fourth attack is something different. I'm not a huge fan of it. I think Manticore is nice, focus attack is nice. But the Leoric one and the Raynor one, I'm wondering. You can prepare it. It's true, you can prepare it. Do you have a problem with ABBA the band too? No, they're okay. Maybe you don't have to pay too much attention to it. Until you get really comfortable with it. Another month, another commitment to my favorite orc, Protoss, and hot streamer, Grub feels. Oh, thanks, Mithandir. GHLF to you as well. You want no one why and Stege and Marmumu. Thanks, guys. I saw yesterday there was a big balance patch. Let's take a look at those. My email password has been hacked again. That's the third time I've had to rename my cat. What are you gonna rename it to now, Gojira? Grub P? Okay. With the capital P as well? Grubby 3. Let me guess. First one was called Grubby. The second, Grubby 2? Good point. If you have to stay on the same target, it's more monodimensional, Chucky Max. I'm gonna look at the balance patch notes on the Reddit. Balance. New. Man, everyone is posting about balance. But I want the balance patch update.
Greetings,
New.
friend.
Oh, thank you, Ashiri. Thanks for the sub, Celot92 and Yum Yumson. What's up, Spongo Retreat? Go to Blizzard page. Oh, don't be preposterous. Okay, let's take a look. Yeah.
Greetings, friend.
Okay. I'll pause the sound for the alerts for a bit. Give him some pepper. James Eugene Jainer. Thanks, Ferrith. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, today is the 28th of June. It's a Thursday. I've been bicycling all day with my dad, who came to visit at our new place. It was 29 degrees Celsius today, and my legs are tired, and now it's time to put my arms and hands to work. It's time to play some Heroes of the Storm. But first, yesterday's patch notes, which we haven't reviewed yet on stream. Here they are. June 27th, 2018 patch notes. I'm excited to see what they have in store for us. And if you haven't seen them yet, do pay attention to see what changed to our balance patch, to our heroes balance. This was a Wednesday patch, so it's mostly going to be updates, not reworks. But I can say that there have been rework announcements for 2 heroes. The videos are on my Twitch channel to be seen if you go to twitch.tv/followgrubby and you type !Raynor. You can see the Blizzard video on Raynor's rework, which is coming soon, TM. And also !Azmodan to see the Azmodan rework. Azmodan should be more effective in teamfights with his changes, and Raynor should have a little bit more autonomy about how you use his abilities. So do check those out. Just got announced today on the 28th of June. But now, without further ado, let's go look at the changes of yesterday's balance patch. Volskaya Foundry was previously bugged, but is now returning. That means they fixed the bug, and will once again be returning to ranked play. And the following heroes are getting balance patch notes. I've also prepared on another page the HotSlogs balance. Well, the HotSlogs win rate statistics. These are a third-party website with incomplete data, but it's the best thing that we can currently access as the Blizzard API is not available. So if we take a look there, we can see that over the last 7 days, if you look at the most popular hero column, and I will have to move this a bit like this, the most popular hero column, and then you can look at the win rate. The ones with the big win rates that are also popular, those are generally going to be the most overpowered heroes. Even if they have a mediocre win rate but are very popular, generally that shows that they are still pretty good. But because everyone, their dog and their grandmother plays it, the win rate generally normalizes a bit. And usually when you have a very small subset of players playing a hero and they have a high win rate, then it's like, well, you guys are just specialists. If more people played it, it would probably go down. Now, when we look at, for example, a very popular hero like Phoenix, he gets played a lot, and he also has a very high win rate. Generally, that means that Phoenix is still a little overpowered. So when you see this list here, and you see Phoenix, well, then I expect probably he'll be tuned down even a little bit further. But without further ado, without predictions, let's go into the balance patch notes. We start off with Cassia. Cassia generally goes for the Q quest, the Thunder God's Vigor, that allows her to do 2 charges of Q, the poke damage that splits, But this time they're gonna look at her blind talent. It reduces the cooldown for blinding light and the mana cost, and also basic attacks against blinded enemies deal 100% bonus damage. When you actually look at the baseline Cassia, her trait reads her her blind gives 20% bonus damage. So she's going to be 100% with this talent. That will make it even more powerful to synergize Cassia with heroes like Ariel with the level 13 blinding light talent. Does she still have that, or did they remove it? I seem to remember they removed it. Wait, let me check. Ariel 13 talent. No, she still has it. 2-second blind. And then of course Lily, Johanna, Artanis' suppression pulse. With this is all blinded targets, and if there's ever a new hero with more blinds, wow. So take this when you have a lot of blinders on your team. Then you have Impale. Bonus damage threshold increased from 50 to 60%. And when you look at Cassia in game, which I shall do for you, the vent, it's like enemies below 60% health take 50% bonus damage. Before it was below half. So it's easier to get that 50% bonus damage on Impale. Do keep in mind though, this is a very high risk maneuver, because while you use this, you do not have your armor buff from your trait. Also keep in mind though that her armor buff is only 40% now when you're moving. So you lose 40 armor instead of the usual 65 physical armor. So using Fend is less punishing than before on Cassia, but it's still punishing. Then Phoenix. He gets a little bit less health scaling and less shield scaling as well. His Planet Cracker actually gets about 3.5% more powerful, 3.8% more powerful. But at the same time, his, what's that spinny thing? The police sirens that he does, they do a little bit less damage. The Warp In bonus attack speed for his rapid fire gets even more rapid. He gets more armor when you choose a 13 talent that gets him armor when he warps. And then there's Rapid Recharge, which is amplified healing for your shield. So it's when someone heals you, you get some shield bonus as well. Now it's 60%. That makes it better than any amplified healing that anyone has ever had. The best amplified healing has been 30-40%. 40. That was what a lot of tanks had in alpha and post-alpha heroes. Now it's going to be 60. Of course, if he has full shield but very low health, this doesn't do anything. But if he has any kind of health and low shield, this is great. And that's 60%, that's a lot. That's a really good amplified healing. Don't take this if you're against Varian. Don't take this when you're against Varian either. This one would be better. But this is strong buff. Stitches still has amp heal, that's correct. Auxiliary shields is just like Sergeant Hammer's level 4 talent, nerfed from 15 to 10%. Hammer was nerfed a few months ago. Some confusion with me why that was done, but I can see now Hammer so powerful at the mid-season brawl. Rich using Sergeant Hammer. Yeah, not that he picked that talent, but maybe because it's only 10%. Anyway, this one nerfed a bit. This was the most popular talent. Then Greymane. Gilnean Cocktail can be used a little bit more often. Perfect aim. More mana refund. And then at 13, no more visceral attacks, but it's been embedded in Unfettered Assault. Both Unfettered and Visceral are a little bit less popular than the bonus range on Dark Flight and the Disengage, or the bonus movement speed from On the Prowl. So these two are less popular and they've now been combined. No explanation, but it's pretty obvious, isn't it? Small buffs to Greymane with a little bit more synergy into underused talents, and now combined. That could make this a good pick. Though, I think this is a bit meh. It is better than it used to be. Why? It's because Razor Swipe used to be 3-second cooldown and now it's 4. So this kind of CDR does actually help quite a bit to do more Razor Swipes. Maiev, oh, Maiev. She has been hunted and dogged with guilt and shame and embarrassment and vengeance for letting Illidan escape. Very embarrassing the way Tyrande busted that guy out. But now she gets hunted with nerf after nerf. Now, of course, she was released to a very strong reception. One of the most overpowered heroes to ever be released. Maiev receives some more nerfs. Especially to Warden's Cage, 2 seconds less. It's being explained here as well. But there's also some buffs. The only thing that Maiev doesn't really do yet, which was envisioned by the designers, is using Blink Spirit for poke damage. Instead, usually it's used as an escape or an engage. Pursuit of Vengeance can now do more CDR when you poke and weave it through enemy heroes. Shadow Armor is your armor after you Blinky Blinky. Again, a little bit longer duration. And then Cruel Chain is your Umbral Bind talent at 16 that can add a lot of damage when you do a lot of sources of damage to someone that has been tethered. It did so much that it's actually being reduced. This was a very powerful talent, but not always easy to proc. Where's Illidan? Ah! So, I understand the nerfs, I guess. Nerf, but this is buff, but this was never used. So overall, I would say it's a nerf. Vengeful Knives. Bonus damage per hero hit increased for your fan of knives. Moving on. Oh, Aru. Yeah, what can I say? 1 damage less is it's still 27 damage too much for me, but minus 1 second of minus one damage and plus 1 second to blink, always nice. So there we go, good stuff. Zul'jin. I didn't see any Genji nerfs this patch, by the way, so don't get too excited. Tracer's been dealt with, but her ugly brother Genji still, yeah. But this is nice. I don't have to ban her 100% of the time, but maybe 90%. Zul'jin, Amani Rage. We like that Amani Rage has become a staple for Zul'jin and that it creates meaningful moments. So we made it baseline, took out a little bit power, and then you can choose it at level 4 to bring back the full functionality that it used to have. Well, that's a very powerful split off on a very weak hero. Most of my losses recently in Hero League have been because I, or usually someone else, picked Zul'jin. Oh look, I lost Zul'jin. Jimmy, oh that was quick match. Okay, I said that, but it's not true. I did have 1 loss with Zul'jin and I feel it keenly still. But yeah, so a little bit more Amani Rage. Especially good PvE, I suppose, because you don't get that armor anymore. But it can be nice. Okay. Any buff is helpful, but it's not huge. It does mean, though, that you have a weak version of Amani Rage, part of your base kit. And you can have other kind of regen at 4 as well, or the slow break. 1 loss can feel like a lot, yeah. Specialist, Nazeebo. Yeah, Plague of Toads did well. Let's take a look at where Nazeebo is. Oh, bookmark added. Nazeebo. Yeah, 53.6% win rate, and he gets played quite a bit. About the 13th most popular hero. So okay, I can see tuning down the Toads just a tad. And also Gargantuan, very tanky, good damage, goes down a bit as well. I don't think there's any huge issue with this. Although he doesn't get played at Pro Play, and doesn't necessarily see that much play in my Masters games on Europe, whenever he gets played, his Toads do feel quite strong. It's not a huge deal to nerf it a bit. Probius. This was a very impossible talent. When you blow your Warp Rift up on 2 enemy players, it creates a new Warp Rift. But it's so hard because it's like, put the Warp Rift, set up, wait, throw the thing, and 2 people have to be in it. I mean, they have to be really bad to be in it. Now from 1. I think that's a great change on a hero that does have a decent win rate, if you look at him. But that's because no one plays him. It's only super nerds that play Probius. And, you know, nerds, pretty good at games, I guess. So, I think that's fair. It removes a dead talent and makes it potentially possible. I play him. I know Minceblad. I would too. Zagara. Basic attack damage reduced. Now, in order to understand Zagara nerfs, we have to look at her win rate. It's actually 54.5% for a decent popularity, even though it's been dropping a bit in the last week. Again, these stats are not conclusive, but yeah, she did have a rework that improved her scaling and team fighting a bit, and although I haven't seen her that much in my games, it does seem that she has gone to a healthy win rate. And her nerfs are quick. 2 damage less, 3 damage less, 2 damage less, longer cooldown for less split pushing, and less CDR. That's a pity. That is a bit of a pity, because I already feel like Nidus... I mean, I hate to lose in playing against Zagara, but when I play her, I feel like I don't get that many Nidus, and this is a massive nerf. Because if it was only this, it would be like, oh man, but it's also this. That's insane. So, yeah, I guess she will not be played at Pro Play, and she'll be a little bit less good at Hero League. They nerfed her really fast, just like they nerfed Zul'jin fast when they were a bit strong. And I just wonder, can we also nerf Overwatch assassins as fast? That would be nice. Don't leave them for only a week as well. Anna can now apply doses to structures, which also means she heals from them. And it also means that she can damage them a bit more. Not a lot, but just a bit. Nice buff. I feel like she's actually probably viable now. You know, if you're good, it's a big deal. Deckard. Deckard is the number 1, number 2, or number 3 support in the Nexus right now, pretty sure. And no buffs. That's interesting. He's very good. Now, no nerfs, I mean. No nerfs. He gets 1 buff. However, this is not the most popular talent. So, this itself is fine, but as a isolated incident, you would expect maybe... but the question is, do the statistics actually back up what I say? And they do. Popular, good win rate, and he gets played a lot at Pro Play, which is of course more valid than general statistics. Okay, he will remain effective for some time to come. So if you're looking for a good support to add to your roster, I would recommend Deckard Cain. What percentage would be not popular? I'd say less than 10%. Less than 10%. Let's look at where Anna is at with her win rate. Analyze. There we go. 49.2, 8.8. Not too popular. And a normal win rate. So she's actually in a good place statistically. Okay. Going on to Rhaegar. Rhaegar has not been that good. It looks like his kit is still decent, but his heal on Q particular got gutted recently. So, let's see what they did. He can heal more often for less mana for more healing. All 3 bounces have this more healing, but less in Ancestral. So less of a power moment on Ancestral, but more sustain. And that's important, because that was really lacking. Spirit Walker's Grace. Less mana reduction, but that's also because there's already more here. And this one, way more mana restoration, which actually make this a mana gain talent. Before Stormcaller, it kind of gave you back your mana, which was an uninteresting way to do things. When you look at his Lightning Shield, it costs 60. So it gave back up to 40. That's not very interesting. You might as well, like, do you want to reduce the cost of your Q or your W? It's like, you know, because Q, you need it all the time. It's healing. But your Lightning Shield is damage. You don't need it all the time until level 13 with Earth Shield. So to put a kind of mana return on a far less used talent, which has to hit enemy heroes in order to get the mana back, that felt pretty dumb. No, not enemy heroes. Any enemy. But still, it was uninteresting. And now you can actually gain 40 mana. And that makes it interesting compared to Q. And may actually draw it even, situationally, based on how much you're using Lightning Shield. I like that. Good change. Farsight. Less long area duration. Less long reveal. A much shorter cooldown. And a smaller size. So it becomes much more like, let's take a little sneak peek here, let's take a little sneak peek there, rather than this every half a minute revealing an area for quite some time. So, it's more active. They call it an active, and that's true. It's more active now. So, I think that's nice. More pro play like this. A little bit more skill involved. Earth Living Enchant is hot garbage. Now, it gives more healing. So, maybe it can be good. And remember, Earth Living Enchant is healing for people that are below half. They get a healing over time effect. It's gonna be better. Tidal Waves gets... why is this orange? It means that they made a change. So Tidal Wave gives 0.75. This is a nerf. Huh? And that's also because it's already lower to begin with. So they generally make this fall in line. But that also means, you know, not a lot of people were using this, but of course they understand that this becomes a lot more powerful when you buff the baseline Q. So maybe now it is worth trying out Earth Living Enchant. I don't know. Let's try. Thanks, Sheds. Rising Storm. More bonus damage per stack and fewer stacks. So 10 times 20 is 200. 15 times 15 is what? 225? Yikes. On stream maths. 225. Whew. A higher max, more easily reached. And then Farseer's Blessing. I never took this, by the way, but I might want to try that. Farseer's Blessing. More bonus heal. So maybe this brings it back to what it was, roughly. And nearby allies, also more bonus heal. Keep in mind that this is the way that Rhaegar can self-ancestral. By healing an ally and hugging them. Self-ancestral possible again. OP. We love it when you pretend you're good at arithmetic, Grubby. Oh, I don't know how to raise children. I never said that. And here's the changes. You can read them. Next up is Anubarak. Nullification shield removed, and now it's just a standard hardened shield. That's because he already has more kind of spell armor. Moving on, Blaze, Bunker Drop, fair change, and the minimum required nerf, I would say. Especially when we were watching Mid-Season Brawl. It's like, oh, Bunker up again, lol. Like, in between all the claim spam and the loot. There was laughter about how often Blaze had Bunker. The minimum nerf, 10 seconds. At least like this. It could be more. It's a powerful heroic, especially in coordinated play. But that's good. Combustion is to compensate buffed a bit. About 8% damage extra, isn't it? About 8%, yeah. Feeding the Flame. Normally is like, anyway. Oil spill reduction, reduce, okay. So if you flame people, then they will oil. You can oil more often. Diablo. Just a little bit more health. What is this, 2%? Apocalypse can be used more often, but Lightning Breath not as often. Fair, I suppose, since Lightning has been trending upwards. Cruelty, more bonus, attack speed, duration, lol. And then Dying Breath, more cooldown reduction for Apocalypse per enemy hero's hit. Diablo buffs, he's going to be big ol' meanie. Johanna, 160 bonus life. What is that? This is quite a bit. Is that 7% or so? Let me calc that. About 6+%. About 6+%. Oop. And then more mana restoration for her W spam. And then Irrelevant. Let's see what they've done to Irrelevant. This is huge. Huge. This is huge. Wow. This is insta max charge. Wow, 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 wow. 50% bonus damage on her jumpy. More armor after she jumps. And this is when you jump to allies. Wow. She'll be great at peeling. Wow. Less heal on the trait. When you activate the trait. This makes sense for 2 reasons. 1, she can do this far more often. And they would have had to compensate for at least that. And 2, it's the best talent. And the most picked. And it gives her heal, which otherwise she doesn't have. So it's unique to her kit. And uniquely useful in a pinch. It was a bit too good, I guess. So, nerf is fair. Part of it is compensation. And part of it is nerf. But this is insane. This is actually insane. I'm gonna play Irrelevant. Hand of Freedom. Oh yeah, you break someone free from all kinds of CC. Hi, are you 4K Grubby? Yes. Hi, Mikey Kim. Yes, I was 4K Grubby. That's a lot of bonus movement speed to an ally. Righteous Momentum is... She got 45 bonus movement speed, but now she's not slowed as 25. It's basically almost the same thing, because it was... Basically, you reach the bonus movement speed immediately. Which means... Wait. Okay, so she's 100 while charging, and then at the end of it, she becomes 125. Whereas before, she immediately drops to 75 and would then be 120 upon charging. So 75 to 120. And now it's 100 to 125, which is better in 3 ways. If you never reach max charge, you're faster. Your max is faster. Wait, 2 ways. 2 or 3. Yeah. Anyway, it's good. I might try it out. Otherwise, usually I was trying, if you're above certain health, you're plus 15% movement speed all the time. But yeah, this is strong. It was pretty not good before, and it's good now. What is Templar's Verdict? Oh yeah, when you smash people with your hammer. They got an armor debuff of -20. An armor debuff of -20 is actually a buff. An armor modification of -20. And it's now for 4 seconds instead of 2 seconds. Divine Favor is when you use abilities, you get CDR on your trait. And again, they have to compensate for it because of the standard baseline trait buff. And here is their reasons. I could have just not said anything and show this, but then it wouldn't be my video, would it? Bug fixes. Oh no, I really think this is a mistake. I liked it when it crashed. JK Omega Law. Alex Truss doesn't show in the Fog of War, no longer persists. Items don't stay in Raven. This is the Volskaya Foundry bug. Feral Resilience, Physical Armor, okay. Okay, Varian will no longer one-shot Phoenix. Lol. Okay, all good stuff with the new hero, you know, standard stuff. Backstories have been restored for a number of heroes like Kerrigan, Leoric, and Rexar skins. And that's it. And now let's visit the forums. Video crash, white light. Okay, cool. That was it. Thank you for the balance patch. Hope you guys enjoyed the review, and I will restore the alert sounds. But first, give me 1 second and I'll ship this right to my YouTube, guys.